Good evening. I'm Dagan McDowell.
And I'm Sean Duffy. Welcome to The Bottom Line. Trump's assembling his 1996 Chicago Bulls, bringing in key players to revive the American dream and hit the ground running with an America First agenda.
Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, Border Czar Tom Homan, already on the roster.
Sitting on the bench for now until confirmed by the Senate, we have Elise Stefanik, who Trump nominated as ambassador to the United Nations, and former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin, who was asked to step in as EPA administrator.
So day one and the first 100 days, we have the opportunity to roll back regulations that are forcing businesses to be able to struggle. They're forced to cut costs. There are regulations that the left wing of this country have been advocating through regulatory power that ends up causing businesses to go in the wrong direction. And so advancing America First policies is one of the reasons why President Trump got elected. We have to make America great again.
Trump drafting all the power players whose stats have spoken for themselves. Patriots dedicated to defending this country, putting the safety of Americans first.
Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggle enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Republicans' first big play, a fast break for economic relief, extending Trump's tax cuts. The House Ways and Means Committee is already reviewing the 2017 cuts that helped boost wages by $5,000 per individual and lifted 6 million families out of poverty. They're ready to keep the winning streak absolutely alive.
And while it's still in the preseason, Trump's weighing who to support as team captain of the Senate, that is. President Trump hasn't endorsed a majority leader yet, but he has made sure that any contender is in favor of bypassing the usual cabinet confirmation process, so recess appointments. Rick Scott, John Thune, and John Cornyn all signing on to that, and Republican senators will vote in secret Wednesday to pick their MVP.
The president-elect's attorney general spot is still open and up for grabs. But earlier today, our next guest asked Trump's transition team to take his name off the roster, saying he'll continue to serve the people of Missouri and focus on representing voters. Join us now, Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt. Senator, thanks for being with us. Great to have you. Interesting. Again, I think that attorney general job is so important. I know you do as well. So does Dagan. You did such a fantastic job in Missouri. I was surprised that you said no to step in and help the administration out, but I get it. Who should take the job? I mean, you know the players that can do the job and do it well. Who should Donald Trump be considering?
Well, that's up to Donald Trump, and he's got a great list of folks to choose from, and I'm confident that he'll pick somebody that'll restore, I think, the integrity of the Department of Justice, which has been mired in sort of petty politics under the Biden administration. So it was an honor for me to be considered, but I think the right place for me right now is to help carry out this mandate in the United States Senate that President Trump was handed by the American people last Tuesday. They want a secure border. They want a working economy for working families. They want to be respected around the world. They want to be energy dominant, and we ought to be able to deliver on that. So that's going to be my role for the next 4 years. I'm excited about it, but I think whoever he picks, and he's got a great list of folks, will have a good one.
Who are you going to vote for Senate leader?
Why did I know you were going to ask that question? It's a fair question. Look, this is the God's honest truth. I've continue to talk to all three of them even today. We actually have a candidate forum tomorrow night when we get back up to D.C. I'll fly in tomorrow morning. We have a candidate forum, and for me, the criteria is pretty simple. There's two criteria. One, I want an agenda that reflects where the American people are at. What we saw on Tuesday, again, was a mandate being given to President Trump and the Senate Republicans and the House Republicans to deliver for the American people, the men and women who've been left behind. So I want an agenda that's going to reflect that. And also, there's some internal reforms. We shouldn't have these omnibus bills delivered at midnight, negotiated by 2 or 3 people. That's a that is antithetical to the way the process is supposed to work. It closes out millions and millions of American voices. So I want real reform in the Senate. And so whoever can deliver that is who's going to have my support.
Are you looking at, again, all three are wonderful senators, but are you looking at how each of them have supported President Trump in term one versus what they're saying today? Is that a consideration?
Well, for me, it's important. I was elected 2 years ago, and I think the Republican Party now, we've got a broad base. We've got a new coalition. You look at Robert F. Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard and, union rank and file workers that are part of this movement now. I just think that we have to have somebody in that role that understands that and wants to move an agenda forward that's reflective of those priorities. I think that, some of the things we've been talking about the last couple of years just really in the Senate side certainly isn't where the American people want us to go, but we have a clear mandate now, and I think it's important to deliver. And you mentioned, in sort of the lead up to this, with the tax provisions that are expiring, these are massive tax cuts that were implemented in 2017. We've got a once-in-a-generation opportunity through reconciliation, meaning we only need 51 votes for real tax reform for real folks and regulatory reform if there's budget savings. And so we need to get to work on that, and I think we need a leader, again, that understands the message that was delivered by the American people last Tuesday.
Well, the Democrats will stop at nothing to stop the America First agenda. And I think it's already begun. Look no further than Chuck Schumer, still the Senate leader, will not allow Dave McCormick at Senate orientation. Dave McCormick, the AP has called that race for McCormick over Bob Casey. And now let's just call Chuck Schumer what he is. He's an election denier and a threat to democracy. But we also have Mark Elias, the lawyer, and he's got his hands in it. And I can go through all the numbers in this Keystone State in Pennsylvania. Mark Elias was one of the architects of the Russia collusion hoax. You can't even make this crap up, Senator.
No, look, Chuck Schumer is just being a big baby, and he needs to just take the L and move on. The AP has called this race. It's not particularly close. Dave McCormick deserves to be in that orientation. I'm going to be there tomorrow to help walk him in because he needs to be in there. And not just because Dave McCormick won the election, because it totally disenfranchises the people of Pennsylvania who sent him there. There's a lot of things, as you guys know. 2 years ago, I hadn't spent any time in Washington, D.C. You go there, you start to learn things, you can start hiring staff. There's just things, you start setting up a way for constituents to reach out to you for their priorities. The people of Pennsylvania deserve to have a senator in that room to hit the ground running in January. That's what's on the line. And so this petty politics that is sort of emblematic of Chuck Schumer's entire career is on full display now. He's a big baby. He's a control freak. And but it's not his time anymore. It's time for Chuck Schumer to step aside because there's new sheriffs in town, and we intend to deliver for the American people.
Eric, you did it 2 years ago. I did it 14 years ago in the House. When you go through orientation, again, if you're new to D.C., it's not going to affect the way you vote and how you analyze legislation, what kind of senator he'll be. But you really get good information. You make contacts of how do you manage the Senate and your family and that work-life balance, and how do you deal with maybe constituents, how you set up your office. There's a lot of information flow that comes in for people who haven't been involved in government in D.C. And you're right, it's a disservice to the voters of Pennsylvania to even say that, you know what, maybe for some odd reason he could not have enough votes and be the senator. But let him go anyway. Let him go, and if the votes come out a different way, you go like, okay, he got a free Senate orientation and is not the senator, but Dave McCormick is going to be the senator from Pennsylvania. I just think it's so petty and shameful. Yep. And it speaks volumes about who Chuck Schumer truly is to not let Dave McCormick come in. And so just maybe to clear for us, you're going to bring him in. He's going to be able to go to orientation with you and other Republican senators.
That's the intention, and I also think he's actually getting an orientation already about the Senate, which is Chuck Schumer is a petty politician. So he's learning that before he even figures out where the bathrooms are at, which is instructive.
Well said. Maybe when he doesn't want that orientation about Chuck Schumer. He probably knew that before, but he now knows that, in fact. Eric Schmidt, always great to see you. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. And by the way,
Thanks, guys.
nice job not telling us who you're voting for. I know you know, but we'll give
you one more option.
Hey,
we'll
listen,
take your Dodge.
No. Listen, I'm hearing them all out because this is an important vote, no doubt.
Really important. All right. Thanks, Senator.